Greetings, YouTube. I cannot believe that this month marks the 4-year or 48-month anniversary of when I downloaded Marvel Contest of Champions. Some days I think, man, this was the greatest decision I ever made. And some days I think, this was the dumbest decision I ever made. Oh, it's really kind of like an abusive relationship. But way back in the fall of 2015, which is somehow 4 years ago, I was at an Oklahoma State football tailgate, and I was in need of a new direction in my life. I needed a new hobby, basically. I had just broken out of a really tough relationship that she only had one rule, and that was to never play video games because her boyfriend before me had really taken advantage of her when he wasn't playing video games, and so she just really had a really negative association with video games. I hadn't played a video game since the GameCube, so that was like telling me, hey, if we get in a relationship, don't jump off any cliffs. So after the relationship was over, my counselor at the time said, you really need to do something for yourself that you couldn't do in that past relationship to kind of have a fresh start, which I thought was a pretty good idea. And so I saw this commercial on Swagbucks, for those of you who know my love of Swagbucks, for Marvel Contest of Champions. And it was basically just the showing of the Special 3 animation of Spider-Man Symbiote. But I loved growing up Peter Parker, who inspired me to become a journalist. Ironically, now that I'm a journalism professor, that really came full circle. But more than that, I loved the Spider-Man, the animated series TV show. I even didn't hate Spider-Man 3, even though it was clearly the worst of the Raimi trilogy. So I thought, hey, there's a game that kind of looks like a Mortal Kombat Street Fighter style game with Marvel characters. Sure, and it's free. And I put free in air quotes now, of course, unless you're free to play and you've just managed to overcome temptation, unlike most of us at the casino. And so ever since then, I've been playing Marvel Contest of Champions or Marvel Casino of Champions, depending on your outlook of this game, which is part arcade, part certain gambling addiction. And I'm now almost up to 1.5 million base hero rating, and I still don't know if I should be really proud of that or I should be ashamed of that. This is a 4-year commitment. This is about twice as long as my longest romantic relationship. And you might take that as, wow, he has a pathetic relationship history. Or you might even take that further and say, wow, somebody wanted to be with that guy for 2 years? Who's that poor sucker? But regardless, this has been a huge commitment. And I have seen so many changes to the game, both good and bad. I will always talk with nostalgia about how I got through all of Act 4 thanks to pre-patch 12.0 Scarlet Witch Sig 99, and I made sure to not download the new patch until I had beaten everything, and I used all my units on energy refills the night before the patch came out, and I'm so thankful for that. I'll always remember the time where you could hoard 150,000 plus 5-star shards and essentially guarantee yourself the new featured 5-star champion when they came out just by going for them and hopefully striking it rich on that 20 to 25% RNG drop rate of the old 5-star featured crystal, which you also didn't have to wait several months after the champion was released. I remember a time where you couldn't get crystal shards, where there was no login calendar, where you just had to hope and pray when you bought a $100 4-star crystal that you land on Scarlet Witch. Even though you're not going to land on Scarlet Witch, you'll probably land on somebody like Hulkbuster or Groot. So I thought in this recap of my 4-year journey, I would kind of talk a little bit about my strategy for how I've come to this point, and maybe you watching this would like someday to have your roster look like this. Maybe your roster looks better than this. Maybe you want nothing to do with my roster. I don't really know. But the secret to my success not only has been grinding my life away in the arena, but it starts with 3 stars. And that might surprise some people. But I believe that 3 stars are the secret to success in this game. I believe that if you have a small amount of time and not a lot of disposable income, that the 3-star featured arena, along with so many boosts, which are so easy to get in the 3-star variety, even if you don't play this game that much, just from daily milestones, the 3-star arena gives you the best unit to time put in ratio, and the more 3 stars you max, the better your roster is going to be. And not only that, but there is no infinite streak fear like there is in the 4-star or 5-star featured arena, which, especially with the 5-star featured arena, is always changing and always going up. And once we have rank 3 6-stars in the next year, you're going to look at that number go even higher in order to not trigger the death matches, which by then will be at 18 or 19,000 PI easily because they're already there with some people who have had terrible arena luck. That is another video for another time. But the 3-star arena is where I have done so much of my work in the arena in general, and I have so many 3-stars, well over, I think, 150 now, maxed out, and just a few of them that remain to be maxed out, and I always wait and boost up those champions with a level up event because it's a pretty easy way to get at least the 25 free units that comes with the level up 3-day rotation milestone. And you can see I just have a couple of 3-star champions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are not yet at max rank, but they will be at some point soon, I'm sure. Now, the 4-stars are where you start to really think to yourself, oh, what a day it used to be when you had the chance to clear all the hardest content with 4-stars. And to a lot of summoners' credit, you all are just better at the game than me. You have sent me videos where you've taken down the collector with 3 stars or rank 3 4-stars, and I had a rank 3 6-star Jugs and a Star-Lord and some like OP 4-stars like Scarlet Witch, and I still had to use well over 1,000 units of revives just to get the collector down once because to be honest, I just wasn't really that good. But I did it. I became uncollected, and my progression improved, especially back then when uncollected was like Cavalier is now. I have ranked up quite a few 4-stars to max, so you can see that from this progression. But what I've also done is take up some 4-stars, which will be used in the arena, just to rank 4. And that has been a huge advantage for my roster in certain scenarios, even in, say, grinding the Tier 4 basic arena. But yeah, my 4-star roster will always hold a special place in my heart. This is the secret to how I get 5-stars so fast, because 90+% of my 4-stars are now max sig. And so I get twice as many 5-star shards on average from a 4-star crystal because of those max sig crystals, which is also one of the best things Kabam has ever done in the game, is introduce the max sig ability crystal to give us 4-star shards, 5-star shards, and yes, 6-star shards twice as fast. So speaking of 5-stars, so many hunts, right? I am so proud of what my 5-star roster is more than anything else, because it is months and months and months of grinding, work, and luck. Everything from Katie Candy helping give me that Starky dance, which she apparently hasn't given herself since she still doesn't have Stark Spidey. Rest in peace to her roster. But regardless, there's just a lot of memories. So many crystal openings on my YouTube channel dedicated to 5-star crystals. And now, of course, I'm still hunting for the missing limb. Even though the more tips I get from the community, the more I keep thinking to myself, despite the fact that it was a 52-48% vote in favor of keeping the hunt, that Nicholas Fury is really who my 5-star Skill Awakening gym should go to. If I haven't opened him, which most likely I won't by Cyber Monday, I am going to hopefully have the opportunity to buy another generic 5-star Awakening gym and pump that sucker into him, therefore saving my class gym for Aegon. I just have to wait another month. That is my plan, at least. But I have to say, my favorite champion will always be Quake, even though she's not yet rank 5, and some people are confused if she's your favorite champion. Why is she not rank 5? I just like her at rank 4, and I want to save the rank up materials for somebody that I think really needs to be rank 5, and that was Omega Red in my last rank up. I also have to say that my most underrated 565 rank up is Red Hulk. This guy is such a stud, and he makes so many fights that just annoy the heck out of me really, really easy, especially people like Ebony Coleslaw, who I hate to fight. And of course, with that Incinerate conversion, someone like a pesky Human Torch also becomes really fun to fight. I thought that when I finally pulled a 5-star Sabretooth, or maybe with my 6-star Deadpool X-Force, that I would use them in the synergy team with Omega Red. But what my roster has been lately has been Ghost Rider and Blade, Omega Red, and then either Stark Spidey or Red Hulk. And if I really, really need it, I will take out Starkey, put in Red Hulk, and then insert a Sabretooth or a Deadpool X-Force. But it's tough to have at least one person of my starting 5 that I just only throw in when I'm trying to test out the animations of the new, say, uncollected or epic boss fight where I know I can lose this champion and maybe I'll get 5 or 10% health down, but it's just a practice dexing the animations, or at least seeing what the heavy attack is of that new champion that's featured in the final couple chapters of the monthly quest. Yes, the most surprising part of my roster, and I am trying to be as transparent as possible, in the 4 years that I have been playing this game, before I downloaded, or I guess I should just say before I attempted to do YouTube for MCOC, I think I'd spent about $1,000 on this game, which is a heck of a lot of money. But in the 2 years since I have done YouTube, I have used a large percentage of my YouTube revenue and donations to put right back into my channel for offers and videos and gameplay. And I have bumped that $1,000 mark up to 10 grand. So that is about what my car that I currently drive cost. But before you say to yourself, wow, Prof, you're a sellout, just know my YouTube channel has made me, believe it or not, well over now 50 grand of income. And so it is a small price to pay for the ability to have a successful YouTube channel that I am now spending a large portion of that on plane tickets and the ability to travel and hang out with subscribers and just get to know you face to face and get to have this community, this incredible community, have more interactions because I'll be going to, Chicago in a couple weeks from the time that I have recorded this video. But it is not lost on me that despite how much money that is, it's still crazy that I've been able to get Corvus, Domino, and Ghost, duped, procs, the missing limb that cannot be awakened at this point because at the time of recording this, 6-star awakening gems have not been introduced. And then, of course, hey, how about this sexy 6-star Hulkbuster? He was maybe the bane of my existence for my 6-star roster. Maybe now he'll be one of the best champs. We'll see after the hopeful beta test, because at the time of recording this, we've been told that we think he's going to get it, but we don't know the time frame. And of course, the Old Balls and Colossus beta lasted several months after it was even out before we saw those impacts in the game, which hopefully will also be in November. So, I could go on and on about my experience in this game, but the point is it's a 4-year, 48-month commitment, and I have met the most incredible people, so many incredibly kind people who I don't even know their face or their voice. I just know their line app name, but they've been so supportive. Getting to meet everybody last year at New York City Comic-Con, which hopefully I'll be able to go to again next year, was the best. So many incredible content creators that helped inspire me to start my channel and also to help other content creators kind of get their feet off the ground, because I know how hard it is to struggle and kind of just even try to figure out where to begin when you're creating content for YouTube in this game, or even just any game, just the content creator process in general. I now got to say that I got to be a guest of honor at a subscriber's wedding in California thanks to this game, which is also a highlight of my life. There are just so many things, and I think the biggest thing of all is that this community has helped with my depression and my mental health struggles in ways that nothing else has. I've been going to counseling since I was 16, and I will continue to go. But just getting to talk to people every night, say hi to people, whether it be in a live stream or outside of a live broadcast, hanging out with awesome Alliance members and the different alliances I've been able to be blessed to be part of. It's exactly what a mobile gaming community should be like. And I try to remember, even when there's a terrible offer or a shady change in the game, that this community is still what keeps this game together. And that is what I'm most proud to be a part of. So thank you to everybody who has been on this journey with me, especially since the 2+ years I've now been on YouTube as an MCOC content creator. I look forward to hopefully many more months and even years of doing videos and progressions, and maybe a 5-year progression video next October. But until then, I just wanted to say again, your support does not go unnoticed. It is always something that I can lean on in the toughest of days outside of the game, and I do have some really, really tough days, but it is this community that keeps me going. So thank you, YouTube. You're the best. Whoever's watching this, wherever you are, I wish you the best, and I just want you to know that you are very much appreciated.